What is advertising is not a simple question. And in a lot of ways now, advertising is a misnomer. What we're trying to do here are solve problems. Sometimes advertising is the solution to that problem, but the reality is that we're trying to get students to think about what's a brand's problem or what's a client's problem, what's a societal problem, what is it we're trying to change. And remember, there's a kids game where you would look at a picture and study it and determine what's wrong with this. We're training them to find what's wrong with that picture. And then as they find out what that problem is or what's missing in that picture, then they develop strategic solutions. And part of that is advertising. So how do you get into advertising or start working in advertising? First off, you study it, and you study it with people who understand it and are forward thinking so that you can become a thought leader when you do get into it. But studying it helps give you a basis in how advertising works, or how communication works, or brand communication works, solving advertising problems works. And then once you've studied that, and while you're studying that, you begin to make connections. You're making connections with professors, making connections with people who are in the industry, who are alums, making connections with other students. So it starts with studying it, then practicing it, and then reaching out and connecting with people. A degree in advertising helps save time in the long run. It's 4 years of studying, but those 4 years enable you to, number one, make connections. Number two, understand the language of advertising, and then understanding the process of advertising. The reality is that it saves time and gives you a real boost in order to be successful in the industry. There are a variety of things, many things, that anyone can do if they have a degree in advertising. Not all of them are in advertising directly. You can work within the media, you can work for brands, you can work for companies that are peripheral to advertising, you can work in ad agencies, you can work in internal ad agencies like Starbucks, Google, etc. have their own internal ad agencies. There are almost any industry that somebody would go into, a degree in advertising is quite helpful because it gives you a broad perspective of how advertising is the engine for the economy and how advertising works, can help you understand how businesses work, can help you understand how many industries actually communicate. What makes a good general advertising program is a program that's current. It's not talking about the way advertising used to be. The professors aren't talking about the way advertising used to be. It's professors who are enthusiastic and staying forward thinking. It's students who are engaged. It's a program that deals with how advertising works and how it will probably work in the future. What makes the SOJC special is we don't just cover the basics that any school that teaches advertising might, but the people who are teaching it are highly engaged with advertising, with communication, with culture, with the students. And the alumni, if you just kind of scroll through LinkedIn and look for alumni from this program, it's mind-boggling what they're doing now. And it's sometimes mind-boggling to me to think about and look at the people who are here and what they're doing now. And students here can connect with those people. Students here connect with each other. The ones who are older or senior or junior are constantly helping the newer students. So there's a synergy between alumni, professors, current students, new students, etc. So those things are extremely valuable to somebody who wants to go into the profession. In order to help those students go into the profession, we also have many different activities that they can do. We take them on trips, we take them to agencies, we get them to shadow people, etc. But they also have an internal Allen Hall advertising. The ad team has been extremely successful nationally and regionally. They work with national and international clients. There are many student groups. I'm helping one called Rising now that's trying to do communication for sustainability. That's just a glimmer of how many different organizations exist. Taking Up Space, which is a group of BIPOC students that are working in advertising. There's many groups that students can get in. We're trying to even create more groups, so every student here has a group that they can be part of. That doesn't exist everywhere. So what kind of people should be in advertising or want to be in advertising or are good in advertising? All kinds of people. Introverts, extroverts, people from all kinds of cultural backgrounds. The differences are what make advertising great. The differences and those people working together is what makes things really sink and fly and touch the culture. So it's not one kind of person. And a lot of people in advertising are not just extroverts, but are odd. They're people who really kind of look at certain parts of the culture and want to explore it more. And they want to understand what's next. And that really helps develop communication that resonates with people on a deeper level. So it's all kinds of people. So how do we help students find what they really want to do? They're passionate about it. They start here going, I want to be in this, and they might say, I want to be a writer. So we'll help them focus on what kind of writer. Do you want to write scripts? Do you want to write copy for, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll try to help them understand, what does it mean to be a strategist? What does it mean to be in production? And we can talk to them about it all we want, but in order to help them understand it, we create a lot of opportunities for them to hear from people in the industry. We take them places like a shadow program where they'll follow people around and they see what we experienced who worked in advertising. There's some pretty bad days, as well as a lot of great days. But they understand that it's an industry, it's a job, and it's a tremendous amount of fun. So what is forward thinking? There are a lot of things that exist in culture that are niche, that most people aren't paying attention to. By the time it gets to be big, it's too late. It's already happened. Everybody's done that. But what we're trying to do, and the main function really of my curiosity class, is to learn how to ask questions. Not give answers, but find out what you need to ask. Maybe you ask why 5 times before you actually get to the right answer. But the more curiosity they can develop, the more they start to see, this is what it's gonna be a trend. This is what's gonna catch on in the culture. How do we teach brand responsibility? First off, you can have a very lucrative financial career in advertising, but it's equally, if not more important, to make a difference. And that making that difference is something that permeates the culture of this building, the people who are in it. And the brand responsibility master's program sprang from what was already happening. We had been talking about it for years, as far as let's really deal with making brands responsible, whether it's for the environment, whether it's for the economy, whether it's for people and your impact on them. And then as a result, it was like we could develop a master's program that deals with this. So every class that students are in studying advertising, and this is the largest one in the SOJC and one of the largest ones on the campus. A lot of students come here because they've been somewhere else on this campus and they go, no, that's what I want to do. And what they find is something that's very important in the culture now is how can we be responsible to each other, to the environment, to the society. So that permeates things here.